Why should we not need Discarte? Because of human security. Hi, I'm Achilles, and what I just said is probably really confusing, considering how out of the blue it was. But let me explain. On the 12th of December 2022, a tweet replying to reporter Atom Aralia's complaints about the public transport system went viral. In it, username Carlo Bruce mentions that Discarte is the key, insinuating that Atom could have solved his individual problem of not being able to fetch a ride home through other means. But what is Discarte? Why did this tweet go viral? Is it a good thing or a bad thing? Let's talk about it. An assistant professor from UP Diliman, Morales describes Discarte as creative problem solving in response to practical problems within one's social sphere. In other words, it's using ways that other people don't use or think about in order to get ahead of the obstacle in front of them. The idea of Discarte is spread around quite a lot in the Philippines. Maybe you know someone who has used the idea. Maybe you have used the idea yourself. Normally, I see it in the context of folks that hustle or work incredibly hard for money. And according to Morales, it is used the most by people who are held back by an environmental constraint, with poor people being the most well-known example. In this context, it's not a bad quality to have. The idea of Discarte gives people a sense of power, that they can be smart or creative enough to solve their problems all on their own. But this can have very bad effects. Based on articles from other Filipinos' observations, other people's Discarte is turning away from morals, cheating in schoolworks and ignoring bus queues during rush hour. Others maliciously tear down their competition and use other underhanded or maybe illegal tactics. Others start to forget that some problems are too big to solve independently. Poverty is a good example of this. It's a giant handicap that many suffer from, and these people may use Discarte to try and escape this disadvantage, and the many others rooted from it. Some may even dream of luxury. Many, maybe even you, would blame unsuccessful people for their failures because they didn't have Discarte, or they didn't work hard enough, completely ignoring any outside factors that may affect success. And worst of all, in this current period of inflated prices, more and more people will be using Discarte, working long hours or screwing over anyone they can just to survive, to have food on their plate each day in a rapidly collapsing environment. Again, this is all rooted in the notion that success is determined only by one's ability to solve things on their own. This isn't true. While one's ability is important, their circumstances and environment play a part as well. Kobe Bryant was skilled, but he couldn't win a championship until the Lakers traded for another star in Pau Gasol. A better environment raises a person's chance of success. If we ignore the environment around us, we won't be able to achieve progress. And when an entire nation becomes a better environment, anyone can be more successful. This is where human security comes into play. Professors Banlaoy and Kraft talked about the concept of human security in Far Eastern University's Public Intellectual Lecture Series. According to them, the government has the influence and the responsibility of establishing human security. This comes in the form of keeping us safe from various physical threats, or supporting local farms and businesses, or taking care of our natural resources, or providing easier access to quality education, or mediating peace between the many different cultures and parties of the diverse Philippines, and many more. In other words, establishing human security makes all of our lives easier. We won't have to feel like we're doing everything we can to survive. We won't have to resort to underhand tactics to thrive. We won't have to be creative just to perform a basic task like finding a taxi to go home. Discarte is mostly not a bad thing. If used in a responsible, ethical manner, it's a great thing to have when you want to thrive. However, it shouldn't be our baseline way of life. We shouldn't need it. At the end of the day, lives are easier if we cooperate with each other to solve the nation's overarching systematic issues. If the concept of Discarte shows us that we, the people, have power, then the concept of Bayanihan shows us how to use that power properly, to help each other make things easier. How? Plenty of options. Donating to people in need, reaching out to a neighbor to organize productive events, voting for government officials that have the skills needed to secure human security. Overall, just combining the power and creativity you, an individual, possesses with others. If it's how this country gains freedom, it's how this country will progress and prosper. So, go out there, talk it out, hopefully make some noise.